Hi, everybody. This is Eliz-sha from wisdomseekers.net. I'm here today with water, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for March 22nd to the 28th, 2020. I'm just going to jump in. The first card I pulled was Observe. And that's a little bit different than being pulled into the energy. Right? You're watching from a third party perspective, so you're an observer. And that's quite often the easiest way to live life. Okay, the first card is a very good card. It's the Star. And the Star, or Goddess, is more of a nurturing, supportive energy than maybe because it's a female energy. It's as the goddess, right? And the goddess likes things to be balanced, in balance. And what's covering it is, which is very interesting, that it likes things to be in balance. Because right now, how do you know that what we're going through isn't creating a new balance, a more equality between the male, the female, the yin and the yang? So that's, this enforced quarantine or self-quarantine just might be that we are setting ourselves up for a more balanced inner relationship. And when I say inner, I mean inner as in inside of our own selves. And what covers it would suggest that might be true is Six of Pentacles, which is bringing things together. And usually I read it as bringing pieces of ourselves together. But in this case, it could be in the macro and the micro. The small reflects the higher reflects the lower. All right, so every one of us is probably bringing together more of our things, our pieces of that have been a bit here and a bit there. And that might be what's happening in the social setting as well. And what's behind us to bring us to this place? It is the Ace of Swords, which is change, and it's deep change. It's change on a very intense level. And when we go deep enough in ourselves, we get to the place where we reach the superconscious. And the superconscious is everything, not just us. We go beyond our subconscious into the superconscious. It is everything inclusive. So there could be that everything has made a change on a deep superconscious level, which would be very positive and exciting. And what comes below that? It's the Five of Pentacles. And it's looking at what other people have, thinking that what they've got is better than what you've got. And it's also seeing people who are very rich, and the majority of people are not rich. The majority of us live from paycheck to almost paycheck. That would be great if we lived from paycheck to paycheck, but the majority of us live from paycheck to almost paycheck. And so that could be what's the basis of it, of the shift and the change that we're choosing to make. Because what's coming up next is the Sun, and that's joy. That's a super joy card. And that's a joy on a high spiritual level. And true spirituality is joyful. If you think you're spiritual and it's not joyful, there's not a subtext of joy. And that even includes when you go through the dark night they call it the soul, but it's really the dark night of the ego. There should be a subtext of knowing that this is right, this feels proper. It might hurt like heck, but there is always a subtext of joy. If there's no subtext of joy, then you need to look at it seriously. I'm going to read the next two together. So far, we've got two major arcanas, right? So the first card I'm going to read is the Death card. And for many of us, this quarantine, it's like a mini death. We can't do the things we usually do. It's a super change. And death card generally means change on a very powerful level. It also means that there is a lot of raw energy that is being moved up so that we can utilize it for more and powerful events. And what I said, and so yes, things are shifting and changing for us on a micro and macro level. It's all very similar at the moment because we're all living the same dream at the moment. So what covers that goes with this particular, with the Death card, a change card, is the Empress. And the Empress is abundance in all forms. It's being able to deal with the subconscious. It's having things, having sufficient, having more than sufficient, having enough, having exactly more than what we need, because we should, as a general rule, we should live huge. We're not meant to be small in a tight little compact ball. As an individual, we're meant to live huge. And so the Empress, she's giving us the power to live huge. And then we get what supports us through this week is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is having the ability to deal with life situations. And as a general rule, we do. We're very good at it. We keep getting, in all the readings so far, we keep getting the abundance cards. And so Ace of Pentacles, we are getting abundance. There is a lot of energy moving. There's a lot of things coming into our circle that we may be aware of, we may not be aware of. It depends where our focus is. But things are moving and shifting, and we are becoming more affluent. And that doesn't mean we have to have the latest Mercedes. It could simply be we have a ticket to ride a bus for the next 6 months, where before we went from month to month. But we're more affluent. We're attracting things, so we have less stress in our lives. And then we get the Three of Pentacles, which is having put the effort into everything, things are working out for our benefit. We're being acknowledged for what we've done. And I know from talking to people's spirit guides or angelic guides or whatever you want to call them, I don't care what you call them, it's just a name. They are applauding us on a spiritual level. It's almost universal. Like they're very happy for the events that are occurring. And so the first card I said was to observe, pay attention, but don't live it firsthand. Live it, takes a step back and view it as a third person perspective. Then you make better decisions. Then you make more informed decisions rather than living it from the emotions, which may be a little lopsided and a little bit in fear, because the ego is trained to be a fear monger, because that's what keeps you alive. If you're afraid, you run. And running, when we were in the past, would have saved our lives, not necessarily now. So step back, be the third person observer, and enjoy what we're going through. This is something that has not happened in many eons, and probably will not happen again for many more eons. And hopefully on Earth it never has to happen again. That would be even better. Strengthen your bonds. And it did not say that in the cards today. but strengthen the bonds. And that's one of my fears right now. They use the term social distancing, and it should have been physical distancing and not social distancing, because with physical distancing, it could be it could be something that is very important and very appropriate, but we need to make sure we stay in contact. We need to reach out to people. We need to make sure that our neighbor is fine. We need to know that our grandmother on the other side of the world is fine. We need to utilize the internet, phone, whatever you use to contact people, and make sure everybody that you know is doing all right. We want to maintain contact, so we want physical distancing, because whatever virus there is out there does move fairly fast, if you hear with were to believe the reports. But we don't want to socially be distanced. We want to be only physically distanced. Okay, so reach out. Even if you don't want to talk to your grandma, to reach out and say, "Hey, Nana, how are you doing?" Okay, and with that, I'm open.
Moon Feather starts us off with, "Hi, ladies. How are you both feeling?"
We're doing good. Well, no virus here. Oh, there might be a virus, but it's not that virus.
Emily Aquine asks, "Hi, Eliz-sha and Elle. What do you see coming towards me?"
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let's see. I have things prepared, but I think I've got too much prepared. Coming towards you. Emily, is she one of the ones that asked about men or love?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Okay, because I see love coming towards you, and it's really cool. It's like it's right on the horizon, and it's striding right towards you, really fast, and it could be, and it appears to be something that's very, caring and giving. If you're in a relationship already, then it's just another form of it's a different form of love, but love is coming towards you. So but it's a very strong masculine energy. So if that's not what you were asking, that's what I see coming towards you.
Maria Herrera says hello.
Hi, Maria.
Lily Guild asks, "Hey, I just got a job 3 weeks ago. How will it go?"
Congratulations. So I suspect you're feeling that it's a slightly rocky start, but what I'm getting is that after you get your feet under you and you're more secure, or you're more comfortable with what's happening, it's going to be easy and fun for you.
Yasmin Fox asks, "Hey, what should I do to balance and harmonize the relationship between M and me? Thank you."
No, I'm going to say something that probably is a little out of line, but you focus too much on him. That's one of the things you can do to balance the relationship. The only questions you ask are about the opposite sex. That's not a balanced energy. Ask about for yourself occasionally, and asking for what can I do to help my relationship with him is not focusing on you. You want to have a balanced relationship. You need to balance your own energy. You have to be the most important person in your life. And once you are secure and confident in yourself, then the rest happens naturally. And that is my best advice to you about pay more attention to what you need. And it's not selfish. It is actually very selfish to put other people first, because you're not looking after the greater good. Then you're looking after other people's lives. You have no control over his life, other people's lives. You only have control over your own life. So for the greater good, look after yourself. Okay?
Moonfeather asks, I was just wondering if the raven I heard this morning was confirmation of the choice I will have to make soon between an old person and the new person, please and thank you.
It's very likely. I got a yes for that. That's all I got.
Isabella and
Isabella's good.
Yeah, says hi. Chandra Walker asks, hello and good vibes to you both. Okay, now how does Tim feel about me?
He appears to like you quite decently. I'm not sure he's as committed as you are to the relationship. It might be something that happens as you get to know each other a bit better, or you spend more time together, or things like that, or his what he wants in life shifts. Men will get to a place where, yeah, okay, I want to get married now and have a family, and usually that's around 30. So things can shift. I mean, they're not bad. He's just a tad cavalier about the relationship. Okay.
Isabella asks, is there anything I could know from my spirit guides?
So they're saying, what they said to me was, you're doing well. It would be really wise. Oh, I lost it. To stay in balance. Work at being in balance, because right now, and I know right now it's very difficult, because I've been affected by all the energy that's going on, and I'm probably one of the better empaths in the world about not being affected by other people's energy, and you're actually a very powerful empath. So stay balanced, practice your balance energy, and practice it. Maybe they're suggesting at least once every half day, morning, night, maybe even more if you get on, if things become a little unbalanced for you. And that's probably the only way people can survive this time right now, is to go into balance, and which means you practice breathing, you practice cleaning your aura, you do the meditations. Okay. Yeah.
Lily Dulo asks, hi ladies, how do you feel? Any guidance from my angels? Thank you always. I appreciate you a lot. Appreciate a lot of your energy and time.
So what they're telling me, Lily, is that you're that the core of steel that's always been there is coming out finally. and you've always had it, but it's coming out. It's becoming more powerful. It's what will get you through. It's what will get you through the next little while. But after that, it's not going away, and things because you're. And I'd apologize for this, because you're not giving away your power as much as you have in the past. Things are going to improve, and your life is going to become more powerful. Basically, it appears that you're going to end up being a leader of people. Good luck on that. So it probably means that you're going to get a job where you are going to be the one that tells others how to behave, how to do this or how to do that. Things are shifting and changing for you in a very positive manner. Okay.
Wolf Risk asks, "Hi, do I have a message from my guides?"
Okay. What I'm getting for you, Igel, is that you don't trust what you're getting. You don't trust what you're getting. And so you're not stepping into your power enough because you don't trust that what you're feeling is the truth. And because of that, you're slowing your own growth down. It's time to believe in yourself a bit more. It's time to stop pretending you're a novice and that you actually know what you're doing, and step into your power. Okay.
Night Diamond says, "Hello, Elisha and Elle. Thank you for being here." Maria Herrera asks, "Do you see Alex's dad's wife doing any kind of spell on me? Thank you."
Actually, I don't. The reason is she's not. She's kind of lazy. I mean, she thinks about it, but that's about as far as it goes. Yeah, as I say, she's kind of lazy, greedy, but lazy.
Miriam Rashed asks, "Hello, I was wondering if there are any messages for me. Thank you. Thank you. Love, a light."
Okay. Okay, so it seems to be a day of self-trust. Again, I get trust the information you're getting right now. And a lot of the information people are going to be receiving from their higher selves, they're not going to believe because it's quite because things are shifting and changing so much, and it might be that the shift and change is such that they don't want to believe that something is possible or not possible. And it could be you don't want to believe something good is happening, or it could be that it is not, it's something else altogether. But trust what you're getting, trust the daydreams that you're having, and go from there. Okay, so trust is your byword right now. Self-trust.
Rachel N asks, can we check in on Alex's current energies?
So, like I said a couple days ago or yesterday, I can't remember which, men are in warrior mode, and he is in warrior mode. But I asked specifically how he felt about you, and he says, I love the girl, but he is in warrior mode, which means he might be unapproachable. It might be that his mind is off somewhere else doing other things. Right now, the energy is such. It's a time everybody subconsciously knows what's going on, and he is in, and basically all the men have gone into warrior mode, which means the women have gone into mother mode, self caring for other people mode. It's going to be hard to reach these guys, so make them cookies, and they will appreciate it. But they are looking after. They are in protection mode.
Patricia Scowen asks, any love on my horizon, Elisha? Someone nice would be lovely. Thank you.
Well, I'm not sure. There appears to be somebody, but he's sitting there. He's not moving. He's not walking. He's waiting, and it appears that he's waiting for you to choose, not him. And because it always goes down to one person, and that's yourself. He's waiting for you to choose love. Women say they want love, but then they attract the same old, and they attract that until they choose to make a change within themselves. They choose to until they choose to self-love. And I know I sound like a broken record, but right now, self-love is the most important energy you can do for yourself, for the world, for everything. Until that happens, he's going to sit on the horizon and wait for you. And he is there waiting.
Mama B asks, what's my mom's energy? She's still alive.
What's the name, Mama B?
Mama B.
Okay, she asked about her father yesterday. Mm-hmm. She's a little bit flappable. And what I see her, I don't know what to do. But her energy is healthy, if that's what you're asking. And but she's a little out of her depth, I would suspect. So if this is a relationship where you can reach out and talk to her, because she needs to hear voices. She needs to hear that her fears are ungrounded, and she needs to know that she's going to have TP tomorrow, or her favorite drink, which, if I'm reading it right, she doesn't actually need the favorite drink. She'd be better off with a different kind of a drink, like water over sweet drinks. And as they get older, as people get older, they tend to their minds tend to not be as flexible as they were as they were when they're younger. And it's something that creeps up on you. You have to be vigilant to stop it. And your mom has a little bit of that inflexibility. Well, it wasn't like this when I was young kind of energy, and that makes it a little harder for her. But other than that, she seems to be quite quite with it, you know, quite everything seems to be normal. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Fiona R asks, I was in a karmic relationship with my ex. Who was I in that past life relationship?
That's actually a bit of a question. It's more of a, how do you say this?
It's a reading question.
It's more of a reading question. You know, I can tell you were this person, and but it's more of a reading question. And having said that, I'm going to do a bit of a ad, because right now we have the great TP blowout sale. We have one question for $10, American, of course. Any of my readers, there's 3 of us. Any of my readers will do this for you for $10. That's a great question for $10. Go get that one asked, because you can sit down, go back in time, pick up what's happening or what happened, what the karmic relationship is, and give you a little more information than saying, well, you were this woman, you had a long dress, and it looked like it was green, and your 2 minutes are up. Okay, so $10. It's a fun reading. Go ask that question. I would recommend Erin for that one, to be honest, or Elizabeth. Elizabeth is pretty good with that kind of thing too.
Zulumi R asks, how does my aunt feel about me sharing my personal life with her?
You mean talking to her, I'm assuming. Actually, she seems to be okay with it. She seems to be honored that you trust her enough to do that. Sometimes you maybe overshare a little bit, and sometimes the slightly older generation doesn't want to know all the details. But basically she feels honored.
Angel Wings asks, will I ever be truly happy with the Gemini in the future?
Truly happy? I'm sorry, I got a resounding no.
You need to rely on yourself to be happy, not somebody else.
And that's something we haven't learned, and we don't learn in this society. We're trained that somebody else has to make us happy. You're the only one that can make you happy. And but truth is, once you get away from certain aspects of your relationship, there isn't a great deal between the two of you, common grounds. You want to be friends with people before you become lovers.
Cassie Sue asks, hello, just curious what is coming up for me or coming up for me.
So what I got was storm clouds, and the great billowy kind, and a woman coming towards you. So if there is something in your life, a person, a female person, it would be, the energy is female anyhow, that creates storms around you, be aware that you don't have to accept that, and you can move. That's a lesson that you can choose or unchoose, and that's coming towards you at the moment. And if you can unchoose it, unless you enjoy the storm, and sometimes a bit of a storm is refreshing, and can create fresh energy in your life. Just remember, it was your choice if you do that.
Isabella says thank you. Thank you again, as always. Your messages are very helpful. Sending love and healing to you both.
Thank you.
Acela Cell ends us with, hello ladies, why does my friend Diana ignore me? Thank you.
Your energy is too much for her. She can't handle it anymore. It's and it's not what you do, it's not what you say, it's simply that you're shifting and changing, and because you're shifting and changing, things are becoming, your energy is out of sync with hers, basically. And she may have reasons, like she could give you reasons, but the reason is you're simply out of sync, and that happens. My mother told me once a very wise thing: with you have 5 people at the end of your life that have gone with you through life, you're extremely wealthy. And I have one friend that I knew 40 years ago. All the friends I have now are new friends, basically, and within the last 5 to 10 years. So if you have one true friend, you're wealthy. Okay, good luck with that. So we're done.
Yeah, Cassie Sue says, weird. I don't have any idea who that could be. Thank you.
Well, it might be new. It might be a new person. Or it could be just the feminine energy that's coming into your life. But it is, I don't know. I have to say the storm looks intriguing to me. So it might be worth your while following the storm.
Anyhow, that's it.
Wow.
That's all she wrote.
That's really, we've got at 40 minutes. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm going to say goodbye then. Namaste. Namasko. Today on Wisdom Seekers at 1 Pacific time, we're going to have a friend come on and talk about immunity and fear. And then Erin is going to be on at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And she's going to do a connect with Erin, which means she will be more than happy to talk to some of your people who have passed over. Okay. So come on, see. And we should be back tomorrow. Okay, bye. I'm going to the wrong spot.